Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about this article that lists 5 Karate Kid prequel shows that could happen after Cobra Kai Season 6. Honestly, I don't want a Karate Kid prequel show. I don't know why I don't want a Karate Kid prequel show exactly, but it's just like something about it seems like into me. So let's give this a read, shall we? Cobra Kai Season 6 will mark the end of the Karate Kid sequel series, but there are several prequel options to continue the franchise. Johnny Lawrence's story was the perfect way to return to the iconic universe that started with Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi back in the 80s. The modern setting combined with the campy 80s action was something everyone didn't know they needed. With Cobra Kai coming to a satisfying close, audiences are ready for whatever comes next, and a prequel would be the next logical option. Even the stars of The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai voiced their hope that the franchise would continue. The actor Ralph Macchio, calling it the Karate Kid Cinematic Universe, he stated that there are other spin-offs ideas currently in the talks, though nothing has been officially settled on. Regardless of the minds behind the franchise thinks of, it's clear that there is something audiences love about good old-fashioned nostalgia mixed with martial arts. So once Cobra Kai Season 6 concludes, it seems as my laptop decides to go on first with me. So once Season 6 is concluded, it seems only a matter of time before a fun prequel idea is announced, and could only be several possibilities. So a Cobra Kai prequel set in the 80s. One of the best aspects of Cobra Kai is the 80s nostalgia. The original Karate Kid movies have become just as iconic of a decade as films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Goonies. And the Netflix series knows it, so it's perfectly combined a modern setting with the feels of the 80s. This, as well as the other popular throwback movies and series, has resulted in an uptick in nostalgia within popular culture, both for individuals who lived through those years and those who have only seen them on screen. For this reason, a new series set in the 80s could be the Karate Kids franchise next big move. This could center back to the glory days of Cobra Kai's dojo and bring back a young John Kreese in a way that could better reflect his potential Cobra Kai redemption. Of course, this would be difficult to do since the Netflix series has already done several flashback episodes that tells Kreese's story, and it would be hard to see the Cobra Kai dojo without the star student Johnny Lawrence. However, a retro-based prequel could be an easy hit with the right idea. I don't know. Karate Kid prequel following Mr. Miyagi's father. Cobra Kai embraced the 80s nostalgia. The next installment of the Karate Kid franchise could be the throwback of the entirely different way. A prequel series following Mr. Miyagi's father would be set in Okinawa, Japan, likely in the late 80s, 1800s to early 1900s. Given this setting, it could be a fun series to structure itself like an old-style samurai movie that would follow the reinformation of Japan and the evolution of its empire, which could mean some classic campy action and drama. Though little is known about Mr. Miyagi's father, the Karate Kid Part 2 revealed that he had been a fisherman and a wise karate teacher. The small amount of information means that the showrunners could create a character all their own to lead a series, and the plot could go in countless directions. Of course, since this this Miyagi is the one who taught Daniel LaRusso's sensei everything he knew, audiences could expect to see familiar movies like the famous crane kick all the way back in at its inception. Who knows? Who knows? And I have to say that a movie about Miyagi's father could be compelling, but they do also run the risk of ruining the character, in my opinion. As I'm not trying to be like this Debbie Downer, but like it's kind of like Yoda from your Star Wars. Part of the reason why that character is so beloved is because of the mystery surrounding him, right? Well, same. I feel like with Mr. Miyagi's father, like, sure, would it be cool to know more about Mr. Miyagi's father? Sure, but at the same time, they risk ruining what we love about him. So it's like, I don't know. Karate Kid prequel following Daniel LaRusso's father. Daniel LaRusso's father died before the start of The Karate Kid, and audiences didn't learn much about him until The Karate Kid 2 when Daniel told Mr. Miyagi about him to comfort his sensei regarding his own dying father. Once again, the fake details surrounding this character would allow the endless creative liberties. For example, it could be interesting if Daniel, in a modern setting, were to discover that his father was secretly been a karate expert in his day, which could segue into a series of throwbacks in the days when Mr. LaRusso was learning and competing in martial arts. The best part of this idea that the Karate Kid franchise could dive into the nostalgia of the different decade. A story featuring a young adult Mr. LaRusso would likely be set in the 1970s, so audiences could expect to see a lot of bell buttons, Led Zeppelin, and disco music. More information about Daniel's father could help explain how he became the teenager everyone knew and loved in The Karate Kid. Plus, the news that the man had been a karate master will explain how Daniel became an All Valley winner in his first year of learning. So they run the risk of it feeling redundant there. And like, sure, it could be in Hereditary where Daniel gets his hard-working karate skills from, but it would feel redundant if they went that way. I'm not knocking the whole idea that Daniel's father could and probably should have a backstory, but they need to workshop that idea, to be honest. I'm not I don't know how I feel about that at the moment. I have to like sit down and really think about it. An All Valley tournament prequel following several dojos. Since Johnny Lawrence opened Cobra Kai, several other karate dojos have come out of the woodwork. This has become a prominent feature of later seasons of Cobra Kai since the rivalries between the dojos and their matches or All Valley tournament had been at the center of the series. Going into Cobra Kai Season 6, it will be interesting to see how many dojos and their owners are left standing. Since this feature of Cobra Kai was so successful as a plot device, it could be essentially fun to explore the dojos that have participated in the All Valley in years past. The tournament was at the center of both Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, so it will be comfortable and familiar sight for fans no matter the decade in which the prequel is set. If the prequel series followed several dojos, then perhaps the creation of the All Valley tournament to help them sort out their disputes, audience could watch dramatized karate matches to their heart's content. That, on the other hand, I have to say, I can see that happening. To be like, potentially be best. of out of all the ideas that we had. Again, and we'll scream it back. Again, I'm not saying that the other ideas couldn't work. I'm just saying that I can see this idea be working the best. So I don't know. Then Mr. Miyagi prequel show set across several decades. The most requested The Karate Kid prequel by fans and the most likely to happen is a Mr. Miyagi prequel. The wise sensei behind Daniel-san's success was a man of few words, but the Karate Kid movie still managed to make his past so intriguing that fans has been asking for more information for years. The detail of his upbringing in Okinawa, his rivalries, his loves, and the karate victories all promise an entertaining action-filled series. A Mr. Miyagi prequel series which could span over several decades, not to mention countries, is not only the most logical option for another Karate Kid spin-off, but has earned the seal of approval by the franchise's biggest star. How do we not explore the backstory and the origin of Mr. Miyagi? Michio told Screen Rant. In the end, he's right. The perfect follow-up to Cobra Kai's success would be to explore who Mr. Miyagi had really been and how he ended up a maintenance worker for Daniel's apartment in Reseda. It's a story too intriguing to pass up. The likelihood that this will happen, I agree, I can see it happening the most. Surprisingly, I would be over it. So far, I feel like I would be the most up to see a Mr. Miyagi prequel and an All Valley Tournament prequel. Following the dojos. The Daniel's father one, the Mr. Miyagi's father one, I'm not too sure. The Cobra Kai prequel set in the 80s. It could work. I don't know. Right now I'm just very, very skeptical. And it's not because I don't want this to succeed. I do. I don't know. But anyways, those were 5 ideas for Karate Kid prequel. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I will catch you beautiful people later. Later, taters.